Live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Spirit Medium Lower Mediumship Messages. Here you can enjoy healing and happiness with exceptional and dimensional spiritual communications. Spirit Medium Lower Mediumship and Spirit World is created to also the medium speaking with all Here's Spirit Medium.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about last week if you happened to be here. I had a technical glitch, and I thought I'd done everything I could possibly do to eliminate glitches, but yet another time I was knocked off Blog Talk Radio. But they did illuminate me. I did go to tech support, and so I have a plan. And all you really need to know is if I am knocked off again, that I will be calling in on my phone. And you don't need to worry about a thing. I'll be back, so just hang out until I get there. Don't hang up or anything like that. It's my commitment to be here on Monday evenings and want to service you as best as I can with this particular venue, providing for you connections to spirit. So tonight we're going to have a guest. CC will be here in a little while if I don't see her yet. And I'm going to throw out an invitation to people. If you do want to be a guest on my show, maybe you're relating to something I'm talking about, or you are somebody in a spiritual capacity that would like greater exposure, just email me, Laura at spiritmediumlaura.com. That's Laura at spiritmediumlaura.com. And we can discuss having you on the show for a brief time at the beginning of the show, and you can even do readings with me if that's what you do. Okay, so I did want to have a moment of silence for the victims of the Las Vegas shooting, as well as victims of recent hurricanes, Puerto Rico, Florida, and also the Houston area, Texas area. So if we would all just please, for a moment, close our eyes. And I will count to 30 seconds privately as we focus in on sending them love and light, those souls that have transitioned and those souls that are on earth recuperating and healing from these disasters. Let's be silent now. Okay, I'm back again, and thank you all for sending your light and your energy in that way. So, as I mentioned, well, I don't see her yet. If she's here, I'll go right into our little focus subject. I don't see her yet. Okay, that's fine. There are a couple of things, housekeeping details that are great to explain. This is a great time to do that. There is a website for the show, and the website is spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. It's a page on my website. It has a couple of resources, one of which is if you want to jump the gate, you want to jump to the top of the queue, do the 8 No Wait. That's item 2 on spiritmediumtv.com. I have somebody here who has made a donation, and her name is Bryn. I'll get to her very shortly. So that's very important to know. Also, there is a live video feed of me there. And you can watch the show live if you want. If you're more of a visual person, just go down the page, Spirit Medium TV. On that page, sorry. And as well, you can actually enter the webinar if you like. And if I do hear a noise that somebody entered the webinar, I'll know you're there. I'll say hello to you, and you will get priority in the queue as well. which leads me to the statement of who does get priority. How does the queue work? It's at the very beginning of other side connections of priority. If you made a donation, then you go ahead of that for an other side connection. But everything to do with the other side comes first. Then anybody who made a donation for life question, they come next. If you entered the webinar, you'll come after that. And if you simply called in and you want to be spoken with, it's a first in, first out kind of thing, whoever's been waiting the longest. So keep that in mind. So everything that you need to know about the show is at spiritmediumtv.com, including the phone number to call in on. Okay, so we'll check one more time to see if I have our guest yet. And there she is, Cece. Hey, Cece. Cece? Cece, are you there? Oh, I know she's there, but I don't hear her. Cece, I'm not hearing you for some reason. There you are. Oh. I can hear you now, darling. Yeah, so, Cece, I love. So Cece and I were talking earlier today, okay, which gave me a great opportunity to talk about something that just struck me. I believe it's something that I'm supposed to talk about and work with people on. And it was very apropos for her. So Cece, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just talk a little bit about that thing we were talking about. And then I'm going to open it up to your responses and comments and what you're going through related to this. Okay? All right, love. Okay, sweetie. So something has shifted in my life big time. I might have, I did start the show last week talking about this, but everything was tumbling more down around me. The basic premise or the basic concept is when everything falls away in your life, it's a good thing. You may think it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing because Spirit is trying to take things away that are no longer serving you to place you more carefully or more correctly on your path. So, for example, if you lost a job, maybe it's not the right job for you. If you lost a love relationship, maybe it's not a good relationship for you. But whatever it is that's in your life that's not really working for you, if it's taken away, almost like a tragedy, consider that a sign that something new is supposed to come in. So for me, I lost a whole bunch of things, and I won't go into detail about it, but just to suffice it to say that I started to wonder, what is this all about? And on Friday, I got a message about something called, Spirit called it this, can't find it anywhere else but here. Spirit called it this for me. It's called the Joy Experiment. The Joy Experiment. 30 days to a life of bliss. Or you could say 30 days to a life of ecstasy or happiness, whatever you want to call it. It's a draft title at the moment. And basically, it's composed of some steps, one of which is every day to spend time meditating on what you really want that day in your life. We switch around a lot about what things we want in our life. Some days we want one thing, another day we want something else. But every day, focus for a little while. What is it that you really, 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 really want? And Cece and I were talking about this earlier. Cece, right? Sometimes we don't know what we really want, or we're going to do things that other people tell us are right for us. Can you relate to that, Cece? Okay, and you were telling me in your own life, there are those around you who love you, but they're trying to tell you what's right for you. Isn't that right? You want to say a little thing about that now? It might be a great time to say something about it. Whatever you feel comfortable saying, because this is a public forum, and some of the things you may not want to reveal. But whatever you want to say, it will help us understand that a little bit more by using you as an illustration. Okay, so you don't want to say anything? Okay. Oh, oh, interesting. Mhm. Absolutely. Oh, hmm. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna hold you back for a moment because I think you the next part of this, which when we have well, everybody has this. We all have relationships in our life that inadvertently control us. And what the problem with this, using you as my example today, Cece, is we have trouble, each of us, in knowing what our true heart says to us, right? Right, Cece? I mean, it's hard to know what you really want sometimes, right? And so the joy experiment, 30 days to a life of bliss, is using the following steps. I'm going to go into them right now. I already mentioned one of them is knowing what you really want. So what you can do is every day do a meditation and ask yourself, what do I really want today? Try to really get in touch with it. It may not be that evident to you, and most of us will probably say to ourselves, I don't know what I really want, or I know what I don't want. It's easy to say, I know what I don't want. I'm just going to go through the steps quickly so we get that under our belt before I come back to you, Cece. So we would ask ourselves, and actually, why don't we all do it together? You too, Cece, but silently in the background. I want you all to ask yourself, what do you really want in your life? Biggest thing today. Okay? Just take a moment. If you have a pad and paper, you can write it down. Just take a moment and think about, what do you really, 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 really want? I'll be silent for a moment. Good. And then not what you think you should want, not what your parents told you you were supposed to want, but if you could have anything you want, what would it be? It may seem a little selfish. It may seem a little unrealistic or impractical, or maybe a daydream, pipe dream. But nevertheless, this information is powerful. The second part of it is to create an affirmation around that. So let's say that you came up with, I really want to make money doing my artwork. That's what I really want. So the affirmation would be, each day I create a work of art that pays me well. something like that. So for your next step, I want you all to go ahead and write down an affirmation that's supportive of what you really, really want. And I'll be silent. Good. Now I forgot to say, this is being recorded, so you can always listen to it again, that whatever you get is correct. Don't be too fussy about this. Usually the best information that you're going to get from yourself is just going to blurt out of you. It's not going to be highly constructed. It's going to be simply impulsively expressed. So allow yourself to flow on this, really. It might almost feel like it's just got a life of its own and it's popping out of you. That's what you want. You want that kind of a feeling. The more you work with that, that's your intuition, that's your soul. The more you're getting to your core essence of who you really are. And that is so powerful. That has magic. That is your magic. Your inner voice that speaks to you is your soul. And your soul is connected to the higher ups. And that spiritual realm is omnipotent, right? It's supernatural. Okay, so what we're doing when we do this is we're starting to connect ourselves to a higher vibration that has miracle frequency potential to it. So now those are the first two steps. Now the third step is to take action during the day to support yourself. And actually, don't even worry about that. You can start taking action, but what's going to happen is you're going to find that your life will speed up. Synchronicities will start coming in. So follow the synchronicities. That's the lucky coincidences. Follow them. So for example, today, when Cece called me, I think I had even thought about this earlier, Cece. I thought, wouldn't it be great to get some kind of confirmation about this? Or, oh no, that's how it worked out. When you called me and I told you what I was working on, you said, oh my God, that's what I need to hear today. Right? Isn't that what you said? Maybe? Cece, I'm sorry, I keep calling you. I want to call you Mimi all the time. Cece. That you was kind of what I'm going through right now. Well, I looked at that like Spirit saying to me, Laura, people need to hear this. People need to work on their joy quotient, if you will. It's like an IQ, but it's your joy Q. Your joy quotient. So, okay, so we've done those two things, and then create a mantra from the affirmation. That's the third step. So if it was the art thing that I used in this as an example, I'm going to come back to you in a moment, Cece, find out what you wrote. Then we would put down, I am art. That could be a mantra, I am art. Go into a meditation for 15 minutes, or just use it as a mantra while you're doing something else that's repetitive, like going for a walk or washing the dishes or sitting in a doctor's office or sitting at a traffic light, or riding the subway if you're in New York like Keisha is, and so on and so forth. So you use your mantra. And then you're going to find that things start happening. And that's what the experiment is all about. So I'm keeping a diary. I started Friday. I think it's going to be like a book, because I have a funny feeling by the end of the month, all kinds of things are going to be in there. And I've noticed since I've started to kind of pay attention to joy, pay attention to what I want, to state it, to affirm it, and to mantra meditate it, things are happening, big things. But I'm not going to say anything more than that. So let's come back to you, Cece. Did you write down what you want more than anything else in the world? Did you have a chance? Well, okay. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because each day you can do this 30 days and then you'll get more on it. And it could be different. It changes a little bit from day to day, or you actually attack it from different angles. So you want to be able to help people. Right now, today, you feel you want to help people embrace themselves, and you want to help them. Right? Okay. Now, what would be an affirmation for that for you?
First I would start off with, I recognize myself and I am here.
Okay, so I want you to pick one part of that and make it a little simpler. I'm here to help. Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, if you're going to make that to a mantra, what mantra could you make from that? Very simple. Okay, if that works for you, okay. I use mantras that are very simple, 3 words. So I would have said to you maybe I am help. The mantra will put you in a meditative state, as you know, because you said to me you love mantras. So you could use I am help, or I'm here to help, or whatever it is that you came up with. That's wonderful. And that's the process. It's really very simple, but the next part of it is to be open to opportunities, lucky coincidences. You're getting one today, you're getting one tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see what blocks are in you, CC. I'm going to look at your, yeah, good. All right, wonderful. I am help. Now, you can do this with me. And by the way, anybody listening, you can do this also with yourself. You're gonna address your subconscious, each of you, by doing the following. We're gonna find your block. So I want you to feel, to see what number pops out at you from the following numbers I read off. I'm just gonna say them, and then one of these numbers is gonna light up for you. That's your block. You, CC, and everybody else. And then we'll clear it. So the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did any of them pop out at you, CC? I know what it is. Okay. And I also got, no, it could be fine. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the heart. 4, 6 is the third eye. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So and I got the crown for you. The crown stands for our connection to God, belief in it, all of that. So the way we really clear a chakra, which is the healing, when I do it with clients, we get a lot more information. We go into details, very, very depth is in depth. A lot of stuff comes in of when, like, times in your life where trauma hit, and we release it together because we literally connect psychically, myself and the client. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into one of those, which would be 6. We're going to go to third eye. I think we've done this before. If any of you got 6, that's the third eye. And the way that I usually clear it is I think you're afraid of your gifts, right? All right. Yeah. Well, we already went into this. It's not like I'm psychic at the moment. I know that you're afraid of your gifts. You're afraid of what they might release, unravel, bring out. If you're letting go of spirits that shouldn't be around you, or things like that. Okay. So they're telling me that's why the crown chakra came through. So I'm going to do the crown chakra then. Okay. So the crown chakra is at the top of the head, and we're going to place white light in it, and we're going to move it right through the whole body. And the affirmation for clearing is, I am source. So please repeat that affirmation, CC. I am source. Okay, and I'm going to give you a healing prayer. I'm going to channel it for you from your guides. In other words, when we know we are source, when we know we are God, we can overcome all those fears, right, of using our gifts. So let's see what they want to channel to you. You are gifted. You are a gifted guide from spirit. You've come to earth to help and heal, dear one. You have nothing left to hide. You have nothing left to let go of. You have come to help and heal, and it is time now to surrender to the gifts. It is time now to say yes to who you truly are and allow the energy that is within you to flow from your belly upward and outward, from your womb upward and outward, from your root upward and outward. Allow yourself on a daily basis to take a channeling experience. Allow your feet to channel or connect to the earth. In connecting to the earth and rooting yourself in practicality, you will allow yourself to be more connected to source. It is losing earth that is fearful in you. It is losing the connection to God that is fearful in you. You're afraid that if you're not connected to God, you will not be grounded, you see. And that is what we are trying to say. You cannot have connection to God if you do not have connection to ground. You cannot have connection to ground if you do not have connection to God. Right now, we are healing the frequencies that you believe would disparage and disconnect you from both. You are now healed and you are now connected. Okay, now I'm going to stop the channeling and what to do. This is true of anybody who's afraid of using your intuitive gifts and being psychic. You can fill yourself with white light on a daily basis, which means you're connecting to God. And you also can see that light move from your legs into the earth, which will ground you. You can also look up grounding exercises on the internet. Use Google, and you'll find some that people that do paranormal research use. But that is one of them. Simply white light and moving it into the earth. You can channel it in from the crown, meaning it's coming in from higher source. You can channel it through your body, down through your body into the earth. That is a grounding that will connect you always. And with this, Cece, I'm going to let you go so I can get to the phone lines. And I want to thank you so much, sweetheart, for giving us a chance to illustrate some of these points. Do you have any comments or anything before we go? Oh, great. I'm glad it did, my dear. Thank you so much for calling me today. But it wasn't. Oh, great. Wonderful. And I want to thank you because she called me today. Actually, she called me before the hurricane because I was at the bullseye of Hurricane Irma. The way the news was portraying it, where I live would have been right in the bullseye, and Houston just got buried in all that water. By the way, Cece's from Houston, and she knew about what hurricanes can do. But anyway, we both survived. We both survived. Okay, sweetie, I'm going to let you go, darling. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye, honey. Okay, I'm going to go to the first person who's waiting for another side connection, and that would be Lena. And Lena is waiting for an other side connection. So I'm going to do two other side connections, and I'm going to go to Bryn, who's waiting for a live question and made a donation. And then I'm going to try to get to all the other phone lines. Okay, let's see what we can do for Lena. Lena. Hi, Lena. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. So I do usually connect to your mother fairly well. Let me see what we get here. Yeah, Lena. I'm not sure if I ever said this before or what, if it's correct or not correct, but what I am seeing here is a woman that carries a little extra weight in the stomach and belly area, although she's very kind and sweet and a good cook at that. Would you understand that for Mom, please? Yeah, my aunt. That's your aunt? Okay. She has full lips and is a little bit of a stronger nose, but it is straight. She has a roundness to her face, or it's oval, really. What I mean by round is there's not a lot of bones sticking out because she's carrying a little bit of extra weight on her. But I see her with an apron on. She likes to cook. I also see her, there's something about a mother-in-law to you. Have you been married, honey? Yeah. Okay. Your mother-in-law is around also. I think she's coming in from spirit. Would you know if she's in spirit now, honey? Oh, she's living as far as you know? Yes, okay. All right, well, I'm hearing something about your mother-in-law, love, and I'm going to develop it a little bit. But first, let me just get what I have here to find. So there's your aunt. I guess it's your aunt. You said it was your aunt. She's roundness in the cheeks, so more of an oval face, or stronger nose, but it's straight, and full lips. And she's showing me steel gray to darker undertones to the hair. Would you know this aunt to have had darker hair to begin with, but then it's get a steel gray to whiteness to it, please? Would you understand that, please? For the aunt you're thinking of? All right, good. And also, would you understand that her hair towards the end of her life, perhaps, or maybe in her middle to later years, is more layered around the face, not long, not real short? Would you understand that, please? Okay, also, she has a son on Earth, meaning you have a male cousin. Would you understand that, please?
Yeah.
All right, she's a kind and loving person. She loves you very, very much. There's something about flowers and you, or she's sending you beautiful flowers. They're purple flowers, and they're forsythia. Forsythias, I think it's forsythia. They're little tiny flowers, and they're purple, and they smell really, really delicious. She's sending you some of those flowers to brighten up your mood and to bring you happiness today. She says you're very forlorn about something that you lost. And she says you're trying to get things done for yourself. She says in the health field, or a field that you know about very well. She says, but you're not really getting anywhere with that right now. She wishes that you would open up your heart more to other things that you can do also. She says you're very gifted in many areas, and you are a talker, you are a communicator. She says if you use your communication gifts, you will get farther than if you don't. She says anything where you can, she's so cute. She says, use your mouth, talk more. You're gifted, open up your mouth, speak up for yourself. People will listen to you. Okay, Aunt, but what would that be, please? It's taking care of people is the main thing. You know, you're very good at that, Lena. Taking care of people. She says you love to be taking care of people. She says you're a caretaker at heart. She says, I know you have to take care. She says, sometimes you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And that's going to happen when you start to open up your mouth, talk about your wounds, and talk about what you need more to those that can give you what you need. That includes the job. Of course, you don't go on a job interview and talk about your personal stuff, she says, but she just means when you go out, open your mouth up more. Don't be so subtle. Don't be so quiet, and don't be so understated. Use your, oh, she's funny. Use your big fat mouth already and get yourself a job. She says, you're a talker. Use it, meaning she has a New York kind of accent. Are you from the New York area, honey, or Northeast? Long Island. You're a talker. Use it. Talk. Open your mouth. Speak up for what you need. She says, everybody's going to listen to you, and don't be afraid. You won't sound like you're complaining. You'll sound like you're smart. That's what I want you to do. She says, that's the missing link here. You're too polite. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, there are other souls around her. There was something about your mother-in-law too, but there's grandparents. I can't develop all of them, sweetie, because I have a lot of people to go to, but I just want to say there are other people, and I just want to get the message out about your mother-in-law. You do talk to her from time to time, your aunt says, correct? Lena? Oh, all right. Well, let me just see who you're, okay, so aunt? Hold on, honey, Lena. Oh, there's also a Maria that name pops in. Maria. What do you want to say about her mother-in-law, please? Your mother-in-law is not a very nice person to you anymore. She used to be kind and gentle, and she was very interested in hearing what you had to say, but she's not interested anymore in hearing what you have to say. She says it only adds to your loneliness. You don't have anyone you can really talk to. She says, I want you to know, so this is your personal message, I want you to know that when you talk, we listen. In spirit. We are listening, we are helping you, we are trying to heal you, and we send you a lot of love. So don't be afraid to talk to us either, besides those on earth I told you to talk to. Okay, honey? That's her big, she gives you a huge big kiss and a huge big hug. Okay, Lena? Thanks, sweetheart. God bless, honey. Bye-bye. Bye, love. I'm going to go to the other person waiting for another side connection, then I will get to Rin, who's waiting very patiently with the donation. And that would be Lisa. Hello, Lisa 520. How are you? Lisa? Lisa, you still there? Lisa? She might have popped away. So that means I'm going to go to the other person who's wanting another side connection. And the other person who's wanting another side connection is Debbie. And Lisa, you lost your turn. Please don't step away, please, people from the phone. Hello, Debbie. Hello.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, sweetheart. So you're...
I wanted to tell you if I told you it was all right.
Oh, wonderful. Interesting. Oh. All right. Well, actually, I was going to do the other side connection because I couldn't get the second person through. She must have stepped away. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Which now are you talking about what I talked about tonight, or another aspect of this particular work I do? Okay, perfect. All right. Because there is a background. Joy. It's very, very important to focus in on what you love, everybody. And that's your soul speaking to you, and your soul is with you to help you move to a higher consciousness. And it comes from joy. Higher consciousness is joy. And so Debbie's our poster child today for that. Okay, so let me go now, Debbie. I'm trying to move a little fast here because I spent so much time earlier, but I guess it's all good. Okay, Debbie. Okay, so for right now, I actually feel, I have so many people around you, but right now I'm feeling that there's more of a peer to you, male in energy. Could be a brother. It could be a spouse or somebody who's in a peer group to you. There's also other souls around. There's a father figure. Let's see who else we get, love, and then we'll come back to you in a moment. This male to you is very important. I'm going to be silent for a moment to see if he'll step forward, and then I'll come back to you. Yeah. Okay, you're a very loving soul. This particular soul and spirit says to you, you helped take care of me when I was old and I needed help. Okay, so if he's not really a peer to you because he's old, he was older. Could be dad then. But there's a friendship feeling there also, and a male, obviously male. Let me just see if I can get more from this particular soul for you, love. You took great care of me. He says you took care of me. He says that he was in your home for a period of time, and then it seems like he had to leave the home to go somewhere else to be taken care of. You're making a sigh in the background. Does it have any significance, Debbie? There you go. All right. That's why I felt your ex, a male peer to you, and then this father figure. Okay, that makes perfect sense. You took care of me. You took care of me. You took care of me. You didn't leave me alone for a minute. But then there was a time when you had to let me go. And I believe that, well, he says a higher institution. That could mean a few things. I'm going to get literally what he means by that. Finally, I transitioned more. I thought he might have meant that he went into a nursing home or something, but he's saying he transitioned. But you were there for him during that time. You understand, please? Oh, okay. So it was the nursing home. All right. Okay. So, and he says, I didn't mind a bit being put in a nursing home. You were fearful of that for me. He says, but you did the best you could. You did make sense. You used a lot of common sense to try to discourage them from doing that. I get it. Oh, I get it, Debbie. It's like as if you had this beautiful person that was in your care and he was taken from you and put somewhere you didn't really want him to go because you felt like he's a dear person to you and you wanted, you didn't have any control over it, if you will. Because he's coming in to tell you it's okay. he was okay with that, Debbie. You understand what I'm saying here? Yeah. He says, please forgive yourself. You did nothing wrong. He says, I was there. It was fine for me. He even made friends in the nursing home. It wasn't as bad as some people might have thought. He was well cared, well taken care of. He did miss you. He did miss you. And there's also, he's saying your brother is here with him. Do you have a brother in spirit?
No.
Okay. Well, there's somebody, I don't know what he means by that. Let me see if I can refine that a little bit. What do you mean by that, sir? Your brother, oh, was your brother near him during that time also? You have a brother?
I do, but I'm not anywhere close to my brother.
Okay.
I'm wondering if
No, it could be that his own brother
what's his
then.
name
It could be that his own brother is
was
with him.
Sean.
Oh,
I didn't have a brother.
okay. Well, I'm going to leave that alone.
So I'm wondering if his name's Sean.
Oh, I can't answer that. I can't get an answer because you said it in a way that would not give us any, unless he can give me something else around it, love. So hold on for a second. Can you please validate Sean by providing another piece of information that would have some significance and is correct for Debbie, please? I can't answer the Sean because you already set it up that way. Now I could say to you, well, he says yes to Sean, but wouldn't have any significance. So he has to give us something else that's evidential. You see what I'm saying, Debbie? Okay, let's see. Dawn. Dawn is very much, Dawn, you said, right? No, Sean, you said, hold on. Sean is here with me in the spirit realm. He is a very good friend of ours, both of ours, and you know him well. He took his own, something about his transition here he wants to talk about. So first of all, can you please validate he's a good friend of both of yours, please? Debbie. Okay, just leave it alone then. Let's just leave all that alone. Okay, honey, I don't want you to get hung up on it. No wonder I'm having trouble making the connection because your mind got blown. You're the antenna. That's all right, love. Now I'm wondering, what happened to her father, her ex-father-in-law? He's here. He's okay. He's strong. His heart and lungs are good now. No problem in that area anymore. He coughs a little bit to show me that there was an element to breathing and or lung issues that goes along with his transition. Would you understand that, please, Debbie? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the problem he has. It's a heart and lung issue, however. It's not just one or the other. It's all together for him. He did suffer quite a bit before he made his transition. It was not an easy one for him. He shows me his face. He shows me an age, an older face. He shows me his eyes are kind of almond shaped, if you will. They've got this kind of almond shaped look to them, a stronger nose. And certainly a good-looking man. He shows me the hair is white when he transitions. I don't know why he keeps going in his face area as if he would have had a beard at times, or maybe it's some growth on his face. I don't know if you can recognize that at all, but the hair is white, and he's got high cheekbones, a strong nose, and these eyes would have been almond-shaped before he got much older. But as he gets older, it just looks like I can't see into them that well. I just noticed they're kind of exotic looking. Would you know that for his eyes, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
He says he's a very kind person, as you are. We both believe in spirit. We both believe in the spirit realm. We both believe in spiritual subjects. He seems to have something that is Native American in his background. Would you understand that, please?
Yeah.
He loves you very, very much.
Yeah.
He says, again, thank you for taking care of me this way. That's why he's got those eyes like that. Very beautiful looking man. He says, you have a heart of gold. Take care of yourself, Debbie, and everything that you do. He says, you will do very well in the work you've started now. You're going someplace, and it's great for you. I'm so happy. And he says he wants you to know that he's fine the way he is now. And he's absolutely wonderful. Okay, sweetheart?
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye, honey. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I am going to go now to my donation, which is Brent. Hello, hello. Hi, sweetheart. So go ahead, honey, and ask your question. I think it has something to do with your son. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, it's something that I'm doing the check already.
Yeah, sure. What are his initials, please? Oh, okay. And he's living in your home, right? All right. Let's see what we get for BC, because he's not letting mommy know. He's fine. But let me see what's going on with him. So he's not speaking to you, honey, or he's not very divulging things. He's being rather secretive. I'm assuming that. I just need to know. But right now he's not? Okay, so you want to know what's on his mind. You want to know what he's thinking in that area. That's why I just need to find that before I assume anything. Okay, there's something about his stomach that's bothering me or attracting me. Hold on. He's not very good with his money. Doesn't know how to let go of something from the past. I'm going to find out what that is. No. Okay, I don't have it in his mind looking for work right now. I asked if he was going to get a job. He says, the spirit says, no, not right now. He needs to recover from grief. It's a big loss in his mind and in his heart and in his belly about something he did wrong. And the reason I'm getting his stomach is solar plexus. It's a feeling of remorse and grief about something that has to do with self-esteem, something he let go in his own life and he's never really been able to recover from. I'm going to see if I could get what that is, honey. There's grief and remorse about letting go of something from the past he's never fully recovered from, has a lot to do with his self-esteem. He doesn't know how to study anymore. He doesn't know how to get ahead anymore, and he feels that he's a failure. He feels that he's a failure. So what he's suffering from is grief of self-esteem and a feeling like he's lost work or lost jobs or even lost the ability to take care of himself. It's almost like he's come home to kind of regain the confidence and for like going back to roots so he can reclaim who he is. And you can do anything, and we're going to work on that right now, anything to help him feel good about who he is and smart again. I'm getting the feeling like he thinks he can't even apply his brain, like he's stupid. He doesn't want to feel that way, but he feels like he's a huge failure and that he's incompetent. Somebody told him that. And he feels like a failure, like he didn't do the right things. I'm going to see if I could get who told him that, where it happened. You said well, I just asked Spirit if he lost a job, and I think you said he lost a job. Is that correct, love? Okay. There's something happened in that job, I think. Let me see what it was. He lost the job, though, they're saying. He lost the job. Hold on. What do you mean he lost the job, Spirit? He got out of the job easily on his own. Yes, he left the job, but he didn't feel good enough to be in the job. It was a fast pace, and it's moving faster than he could keep up with. And he's showing me, Spirit is showing me, actually. You ever see that Lucille Ball show where she was, when they had the the conveyor belt of the candy and keep up with it? It was like I'm getting that image clairvoyantly. It was like things were moving very, very fast. He couldn't keep up with it. His skill set is weak and poor in various areas, or he feels so, and he would like to go back to school or like to learn more about, he needs to develop more. That's what he's feeling. He needs to develop more who he is before he can go back out and hold a job these days. It's not like what he thought it would be. It's not as easy as he thought it would be. He thought he could go out and get a job any old way that he is, and now he doesn't feel like he has to get the goods, the skills, or anything to really keep up with the world the way it is to have a good job. So he wants help from the two of you in some way, maybe not in terms of money, but at least in terms of coddling him a bit to help him feel that he can do it on his own and or with your help. I don't know if there's any money in the household to help him with this, maybe get a skill, go back to school, something, but he just doesn't feel good enough right now, and you need to nurture him in the area of self-esteem. Do you have any questions about that, please? Yeah, and I also want to say that before I open the line with you, I forgot where it happened, but somewhere along the line, I felt school for your son was going to be important. And I'm getting that again, that message of perhaps he can be trained into something so that when he goes for the job, he won't feel like it's overwhelming, because he'll have the skill set for whatever it is he's going for, you see. When you're not trained in any specific way, and you go into a generalist kind of job, quite often those jobs are difficult to fill. And that's where I'm kind of getting. If he had a specific skill set, then he can get a specific job, and he wouldn't feel like a failure. He'd feel like, I could do this. I know how to do this. You see what I'm saying? All right, love. I'm going to let you go, sweetheart. Good luck with that. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Okay. Now we are going to Keisha, who's been waiting a very long time. I think she got, how you got knocked off the lines, didn't you, Keisha?
Yeah,
I'm fine, love. You got knocked off because I could see that there. Okay, what can I do for you, sweetheart? What can I do for you, love?
well, I have a job, and instead of the
Oh, okay. And you passed the bar then, right? Yes. I hear you passed the bar, so I'll just pass that on to you. Okay. Yeah, really. I hear you passed the bar. Okay, give me the initials of that company, and I'll look at that one first. That's good enough, honey. That's good enough, love. Okay, so and it's a law firm, I'm assuming, and it's downtown Manhattan, right? Oh, did you move into that area, honey? Oh, far. It's a travel. Okay. WG. Yeah, you could get a job there, of course, after you pass the bar. I do feel that that's a possibility. I don't know if it's I asked Spirit yes or no on that, and they said yes. Of course, you have to wait until you pass the bar. Well, you could start applying now, I guess, until you pass the, but that all is continued. Okay, and you would do very, okay, they're going to give me more information. You would do very well there. You would get ahead quickly. You appear to be very bright, alert, and organized, and they really like your work so far. I keep thinking to myself, I'm a little prejudiced about it because I'm thinking if she came in as a temp, but I have to look at that for a moment because quite often, if you come, they view. That's what I wanted to look at. What kind of temp work is? Don't answer this, okay? Oh, a second. She came as a temp. Could they look at her as a lawyer? Yes or no? Well, it would be it's like being completely new applicant, except that you have the credibility of being a temp. It's the same thing. Is that W.R. Grace and Company?
No. It's WG.
Okay, because I know W.R. Grace used to be in Manhattan around the 40th Street or something, in 6th Avenue. Okay, so you'll do well there, actually, and I'm getting a lot of positive feelings about that. And I'm also hearing that you probably will not have to look further than there. So you will do very well there. And so I'm getting a yes on that particular company, and I'm not being told that you would have to go elsewhere. So it all looks good to me. Well, I understand, sweetie, and that's what I'm getting. So I'm going to give that to you. Okay, I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a yes. Hey, look, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? If they don't want you, you go. All right, let me know, darling. Bye. Thank you, love. Bye-bye, honey. Okay. And so I'm going to go to the next person. I'm going to go back to, I can't do another other side anymore. But I am going to go to Lisa, see if she's there, if I can do something else for her. Lisa? Oh, I'm sorry. I have to say I'm sorry, but I can't hold the line up. You know, I had to go on to somebody else. I'll see if I can do. No, that's fine, sweetie. Let me just quickly see if there. I do feel there's a mother figure for you in spirit. Okay, is that who you're hoping to speak with, love? All right, I'm going to see if I can get her in. Okay. Okay, is she from an Italian family, honey, like Carmela or Carmen, something like that? A C name is coming in, a C-A-R. Carmel is a name I'm hearing. Would you understand that, please, for anyone in the family? All right, well, do you understand the C-A-R name? Carmen, Carmela, Carolyn, maybe? I get it, that name. Hmm? All right, it doesn't have to be in spirit world. The names that come through could be on earth or in spirit, but that's the first name I get. I also, so you can mull that over later. I do see a woman with shorter hair, has a little bit of a wave to it, a curliness to it, and it's on the darker side of the hair, as if she would have dyed it, or she just wants to show me her hair before it got white, but I don't see it white right now. I see it darker, if you will. It's on the shorter side with some wave to it. She is carrying extra weight on her, and she has a bit of a longer face with a longer nose. There's a bit of fleshiness to the form. She's got a very big bust line and a big stomach, but she's, I don't know, something about her also that's very stately, or she carries it well. Would that make sense to you, please? Okay. On your side? Okay. Well, I do see this woman here. I'm also getting another name, a Joan name. Would you understand anyone like that? Joan. All right. Okay. Okay, so let me just say this. Oh, why would she be showing me this? You said you wanted to talk to a mother figure, and I'm getting a grandma on your father's side. Who has short dark hair and carries a bit of extra weight. She's got a big bust line and she's a little bit bigger in the hips. Okay, she's laughing a lot right now. She's got a great sense of humor. She's a good cook. She's got a good personality, calm around the house, doesn't get into any kind of trouble with people. No, she's not a person who's very domineering or overwhelming or burdening to people. She's showing me something to do with a baby in the family, not in spirit, but in the family on earth. Oh, well, I think she was around. Hold on. I think she was around you when you were young, honey. The reason I'm saying that, she's showing me as if she was around when you were so young. She could have changed your diapers or something. She's showing me that giggle kind of grandmommy to granddaughter kind of thing. And then she's showing me when you're a little baby. She says she loves you very much. She says, thank you for allowing her to come in this evening. She says, you have to get working now on something in your own life that's holding you back from moving forward. It has a lot to do with ill health for you and or karmic thing that's holding you back from getting where you really want to go in life. There seems to be money involved as well, and a general disposition of loss around the household. Now, she's covered everything here. Money, health, and you being held back. There's a big block right now in your life, and she says she wants to see you get going on a goal you have. And she says, as soon as you make the decision to move forward on something that you truly want, you know what it is, she says. She says all those perceived blocks will go away and you will not have anything holding you back. So go ahead, move forward with what you really want, my dear, she says to you. And she says, if I could only give you more mothering, I wasn't around a lot during your upbringing to really help you, but she wants to give you this kind of guidance now. I hope that this makes some sense to you, Lisa. Okay. Are you being held back in any area in your life, love?
Well, I agree because I am.
Okay. Is she saying that if you just, is there something that you really want right now that you feel you can't have? No, if you listen to this again, you'll hear it was kind of all over the place, but I don't think she was just talking about a job or anything. It's just something that you want. Obviously, you don't feel you have any control over it by your answer here, and that would fit what she said, which is if you move forward on what you really want, everything will fall into place. So I do feel it has to do with health, and that could also be emotional health, happiness. It also has to do with something that's money oriented. There's some financial aspect to it. And I also hear from her that it's a karmic issue of like a soul contract with this other person. So let's see what it is. Her advice to you is to move forward with what you really want, and everything will fall into place, even though you're thinking, well, I don't have any control over the other person. So we'll leave you with that, okay, my dear?
Thank you.
Thank you, love. Thank you so much, honey, for calling in. Bye-bye. Okay, I want to just tell everybody before I end the show is that if you'd like a private session with me, if you use radio show in the event code field when you're booking, well, just when you're booking your reading at booklaura.com, if you say, I want the radio show discount, you will obtain a third more time free. So if you paid for 30 minutes, you get a third of that, which is 10 minutes free. Okay, everybody? Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you next week. Ciao.